Hello, this is a MIT OpenCourseware centric World University and School conversation with Julian Dumitrascu in Romania, and I'm Scott McLeod in Pennsylvania on the eastern seaboard of the USA. Here's Julian. Hello, Julian. Greetings. I can see your picture. Are you there?
Hello. Yes, I am.
Great.
Let me know how well you can hear me.
I can hear you fine. How is my audio for you, please?
I think it's fine.
You've just become a little blurrier in your audio. Did I lose your audio? Can't hear you. Here you put something in chat. Okay, it's just started raining hard there.
Okay, and now, yeah, I can actually hear you better. Yeah.
There's a little digital handshake, I think, that goes on 3,000 miles across the world in connecting like this. What is news from Romania, from Seoul, from your work there, Julian?
Yeah, I can hear that, but let's see. So I didn't expect this. So I'm in another place. I'm not at home, and it simply started raining. I think 1 minute before we got connected. Yeah.
Does the rain affect internet connectivity in Romania?
No, it just at the moment it makes so much noise as it's pouring down the roof that at least in the beginning it made it difficult. It made it really hard for me to understand what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I haven't gone through this, but yeah. Okay. So yeah, you asked me about news.
Yes.
Okay, let's see, news. I think there's quite a bit of news. Um, I was looking at the sources of revenue that are listed there, and I think they are similar to what we discussed some time ago.
Yes.
And yeah, again, the rain is coming hard. I can hardly hear myself talking.
Do you want to put on earphones, or is there a way?
I have actually, yeah. I put on but they're in ear, you know, and they're not helping much.
I don't think I have a microphone that can focus my voice more here beyond what's on my laptop.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry to
It's
say.
fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, rain is good news because we've been going through a drought. Yeah. So I actually am glad that we also see some rain.
A typical dry summer in Romania, drought, or a little bit drier than
it's drier and hotter, and I don't like it. I mean, it's the global trend. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think that they said last year that there was some cooling coming from that event in the Pacific. I don't know, El Nino or something like that. And they said that this year it reverses and it actually makes the weather hotter. And it seems that, yeah, Romania is one of the places that is influenced by this. I don't know. Sometimes hot air comes from Africa, going north and influences Europe, For instance, Germany has experienced some issues with water availability already. Uh, and Spain has known such problems for many years already. Yeah, I was talking with some of my friends there. Yeah, and since they are suffering in the south of Spain.
In my experience in the US, also, we're having hotter and drier years in general over some decades even. It's not cataclysmic. It's not cataclysmic global warming, which some were thinking about some years ago, but it does seem to be a gradual global warming. Would you attribute that drought this summer possibly to a decade or two of warmer than normal weather in Romania? And
well, they can be linked, and I was scared, when I saw those wildfires in Canada. This seems another big event in a chain of bad events that we've seen. Yeah. I saw that they were showing on the map how fumes were traveling southwards into the USA. I don't know how much they reached California.
I'm right now on the eastern seaboard of the U.S. in Pennsylvania, having been for about a year, and I'm seeking to move back to a newly safe Canyon, California 94516, 5 miles east of Berkeley, potentially around November 1st, for World University and Schools, two legal entities in California, for partly, and also to create a new WUAS academic medical center, potentially out of where I was living there for about 13 years. Business plan will be helpful, and where World University and School is with that is in communication with Middle States Commission on Higher Education, with offices in the greater Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area a few months ago, and also having received authorization for licensure from the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education. They were suggesting a business plan would be very essential in proceeding with accreditation. I'm not sure whether they'll scrutinize that business plan, but whether that's World University and School's own business plan. But we also need the monies to pay the licensing fee of $5,000 to the state of Pennsylvania, and possibly 10 to 20,000 of initial accrediting fees, or at least 1,500 first, and then 5,000 to Middle States Commission on Higher Education in their successive stages. So, and we don't have that. We haven't had that money in since we became a 501c3 U.S. federal nonprofit in 2010, about 13 years ago. It's possible we'll get such monies from even the U.S. government. Grants.gov is one U.S. government website I continue to get emails from. But what will emerge or how that will happen is not exactly clear to me. Do we need a CEO for the WUAS Corporation, our legal entity in the state of California that's a general stock company? Do we need on paper business plan? What does business plan look like? And I know in our emails yesterday you said you write business plans as part of your business, and these are interesting questions as I look to move back to California and also seek to further the accreditation process with Middle States Commission on Higher Education. Thoughts about a business plan, Julian?
Well, yeah, yeah, I have many thoughts and I don't know with which to start. Yeah, so one aspect is that, yeah, we are discussing many topics, and we'll see how we can organize, conversations about many topics. One way would be to, I don't know, start an email conversation, for each topic, or maybe we also use other software that is even more helpful. We'll see. So would this be a method that you would like? I mean, when I see that we want to continue discussing a topic, should I start an email conversation with a certain subject, for instance, accreditation or a business plan or something else?
That it would be good to focus this in writing in emails.
Okay.
I mean, where I see, just to speak a little bit more generally, with Romania being in the European Union, and therefore I think being a Euro currency country, and with Romania having about 19 million people, according to one website I found, and with World University and Schools seeking to create, and having created the very beginning of Romania World University and School for free MIT open courseware centric degrees for Romanians. Part of the business plan, including reimbursement from countries, departments of education, and maybe with Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, could be rewarding for you, for example, Julian, and also a question of how to navigate Romania in these regards. Would Romania want MIT OpenCourseWare centric free degrees? Would it want Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, and even to end poverty in Romania, which I would think there is some of? Off the top of your head, before we maybe focus on specific aspects in email, what are your thoughts about some of those questions?
About countries. So one aspect is that we focus first on languages and then on countries. Well, in the case in Romania, yeah, it used to be like this, that Romanian was spoken in Romania, and this makes things simpler. Yeah, because I am Romanian and I speak Romanian, I know Romania. Yeah, we can focus to some extent on Romanian and Romania. At the same time, you don't have to. You can think your business plan independently from this. You can focus on whatever languages or areas you like. Whatever you find, more urgent, more important. Anyway, but of course, I'm open to advertising in Romania, in Romanian, to Romanian speakers. Millions of them are abroad. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
One related question. You brought up Germany and Spain when we were talking about the weather. In that Romania has been a European Union country since 2007, I read. There are something like 28 EU countries
Mhm.
of which maybe 19 are Eurozone countries.
Mhm.
Could you possibly become a liaison, maybe for all of the European Union countries, um, uh, at World University and School? And in terms of possibly getting World University and School MIT open courseware centric degrees to all of those 28 countries, all of those 19 Eurozone countries, and possibly, this is brainstorming and big envisioning,
Mhm.
seeking maybe for Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency to come into a parallel role as the euro currency, to even possibly supplant it. And could it, Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, with you as the European Union liaison for all 28 countries based in Romania, be a way, a contact, a key representative, even maybe the CEO of the WS Corporation, for a whole series of other things, but to help develop a business plan that might resonate with the Embassy of Romania, with European Union countries with their embassies. This is coming back to maybe countries rather than languages, but all those 28 European countries each have their own language, their own official or main language, and
Yeah.
other languages. You sort of, I think maybe we last talked in a video call some 3, 4, 5 years ago or something. You sort of I'm very appreciative, have come a little bit out of the blue. And I'm wondering if a little bit of a surprise, I'm wondering if a business plan could come out of the blue, and even monies from the US government, maybe even to pay salaries, and also maybe monies, or at least some relationship with the 10 University of Californias and World University and School, in order for us maybe to be able to hire University of California alumni, for example, at University of California, Riverside, and all their business and finance graduates and majors. Are you open to any of these roles or these possibilities as World University proceeds with a business plan?
I am open. I haven't forgotten about you. I I like some things about you. For instance, you put a lot of energy into what you do. One can feel, I would say, your heart. Well, one can see that you care about what you do. And of course, I would like to see your plans fulfilled. So when you say that at the moment it's difficult for World University and School to buy any service, we can gradually focus on income, depending on your goals. I think that an important topic a major topic that people can discuss is what do you want to do? For instance, if you think about the next decade in your life, what would you like it to include? And depending on this, we can discuss practically what is necessary for that to happen. And in some cases, people focus on, well, let's see what income I would need for my household, income I would need for my organization, how I decide on using this financial capital, you know, how you would like to, invest the money so that you can reach your goals and so on.
Interesting. World University and School is very much a friendly Quaker leading, and it has been from the beginning, and it has not been remunerative yet whatsoever. It also maybe emerging out of that sort of Quaker witness seeks to build on the abolition movements of the 17 and 1800s that Quakers were very much involved in, the abolishing of the wrongful buying and selling of people, of slavery, and with ethical investing as well. Quakers have been involved in ethical investing as some of the earliest organizations, if you will. Those aspects of when we get our first sum of money from U.S. government, from a foundation, the MacArthur Foundation, from the Bill Gates Foundation, and as just question marks. I think we will be able to, hire people. I think your position in Romania and the potentially making possible sort of even the WUaS Corporation educational services stores, which include bookstores, robotics stores, computer stores, hospital technologies, distribution centers, and in all 28 European Union countries, but also including maybe with Stanford MindPi and the WUaS Corporation listing Stanford MindPi on the new long-term Silicon Valley Stock Exchange, and with also these three organizations, the WUaS Corporation with Stanford MindPi, cryptocurrency, with the Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange, all having a relationship with the state of California's Franchise Tax Board, are interesting potentials. The WUaS Corporation is an academic press. You're a translator. We're seeking to be in all known living languages, 7,168 known living languages with large language models, generative AI, and translation, machine translation. All of those have implications for your positioning, Julian, in Europe. If we can, we will also develop with our hospital technologies distribution centers, possibly even electronic medical records, avatar bot electronic medical records, and potentially for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, just like we would like to code for all 7.9 billion people, possibly for distributing a single main cryptocurrency, and also for wiki communities of speakers of all 7,000 languages. All of these questions might play out in great ways with your knowledge of German as well. I
was just thinking that we might also speak in German.
Wir können auch auf Deutsch, aber ich glaube, dass Ihre Deutsch ist ein bisschen besser als mein. Also, weil Sie eine
Okay.
Sätze war.
Okay.
And your English is excellent, so thank you. um, if so in this brainstorming sort of communication now in our video call, if we got monies, if World University and School got its first, say $100,000, €100,000 the U.S. government, and we could pay and with that came even a business plan, either from the Gates Foundation on both wings, or from the U.S. government, and we could pay the initial accreditation fees that would, so I think it's 6,000, 1,500 and 5,000 for pre-application and application for candidacy at Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and then 5,000 for the Department of Education's Pennsylvania's Department of Education. Would we then begin to seek to, with that $100,000, €100,000, employ people, yourself, myself, to build out the next steps in Europe, in Romania, in all 28 countries in the EU, in America, all 50 US states. It's possible. But what the cultural processes are that eventually lead to World University and School getting monies in a business plan to accredit and begin to grow. If we could, you mentioned, what my plans are 10 years out. Well, 50 years out, if World University and School and the WS Corporation could, we would even be employing about 2.5 million people, a little bit bigger than Walmart. In all 200 countries and in all speakers of all 7,100 languages in both wings.
May I say that I like such big plans?
Great, good to hear. One of the I guess if we could advertise in Romania about free first English degrees, but then Romanian degrees in Romanian, where maybe we could even hire Romanians to help code the machine translation, to translate from MIT OpenCourseWare and Google, and Google's, say, its course called CS First, Computer Science First with Google at WUAS, learning the Scratch programming language, which works with Lego robotics, of which the WS Corporation is an authorized carrier in the USA only. These would be jobs for Romanians that you could help focus, perhaps, potentially. These are all, I guess, in this brainstorming session, what would the, how many people could we hire in Romania? 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. Maybe not 100,000, but quite a lot. And whether these would be graduate students working 10 hours a week on for World University at the school at the same time that they're studying in English and in Romanian gradually, or similar. There would be opportunities for Romanians in a whole variety of ways, and to grow a major MIT OpenCourseWare centric university that would take advantage of all the new developments with generative artificial intelligence and learning online that Google and MIT OpenCourseWare have furthered in making their resources available as Creative Commons 4 licensed for sharing, adapting, but not commercially. how to proceed. I mean,
Well,
go ahead.
one similarity between us is the fact that we express complex thoughts.
Great.
You might witness it, sometimes when I speak for many minutes or when I write a long message.
Okay. Yes, I do. I see you. Yes, very much. You do express complex thoughts. I just got the 10-minute notice for my Zoom. So just as a heads up, free
10-minute
free meeting
meeting.
in 10 minutes. So
Oh, we're gonna end our talk in 10 minutes.
within 10 minutes. Yes.
Oh, because of a 40-minute time limit. Okay. What would you like us to do? Would you like us to talk right now for only 9 more minutes?
I mean,
Or 4 more minutes? In the first case, we simply end the call. In the second case, I could share, a link, and we can continue at that link if we want to spend a bit more time.
let me ask,
talking.
given all that we shared today, do you have further questions about World University and School? If we could proceed, what roles you might find yourself into, what roles you would, in your complex thinking, gravitate toward.
Mhm.
How,
Well, I'm
go ahead.
yeah, so I'm open to thinking together with you,
Right.
once you share some goals, I'm willing to discuss, each topic separately and organize, thoughts and data, um, so that we agree on a plan, on actions that you value, you find useful. And of course, we can also discuss to what extent and in what regards we are willing to allow the other one to exert some influence, you know, and this can move things forward. For instance, to the extent that you need more resources, like money, for your plans, we can agree on what to do. For instance, to increase the income of World University and School. It's an example. I'm just saying.
Super.
Hmm.
If
Mhm.
those cultural processes that, if you will, have allowed us, World University and School, to become first a federal 501c3 tax exempt organization with the ruling year in 2014, and at the same time we became in California a nonprofit legal entity, and then in 2017 became a for-profit general stock company in California as a legal entity. And then 2015, we sort of partnered with Wikidata, which is
Yeah, I remember. Mhm.
and in 300, Wikidata's 300 languages. Wikidata is sort of going to become databases for artificial intelligence based in Berlin. And we got Wikibase, which is a sort of in between Wikidata and Miraheza MediaWiki, our front-end wiki, in 2020, all of which have generative AI implications too. I think our communication process wouldn't have to be, necessarily on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time or 7 a.m. Pacific time, or monthly business meeting on third Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I mean, it could be like this. And we could develop a whole communication and email, if that's what the question you were raising. Communication and email and video calls when needed,
Yeah.
to get things done. how does that sound? What do you think for
Yeah, we can use the email threads and agree on when to talk from time to time. I mean, it's this time is fine for me. Later is also fine when you have your usual talks.
great?
So it depends, you know, from week to week and from day to day, but I can try to adapt.
Other questions you might have in the remaining 5 minutes we have left or so? Thoughts you want to share?
Well, I'll get back to you in writing. I'll agree with you on the order in which we discuss one topic for another. We could also discuss at some point, you know, as part of a business plan, how we would market what services, you know. So I think that from time to time I can provide some valuable input. I would share some information. I would see how, you know, what your views are, you know, and yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially with you being based in Europe and having lived in Germany and other countries.
Mhm.
I mean, that we're an authorized carrier of Lego Robotics with the,
Mhm.
Denmark
Mhm.
headquarters, and with our desire to create educational services stores with not only Lego robotics kits in all 28 EU countries, especially in Romania, but also even Toyota humanoid robots like the THR3, Toyota humanoid robot 3, which is a life-size humanoid robot with a parallel chair that is a master maneuvering system for a human to sit in and help code and program THR3s. We would like to provide engineering degrees in robotics that Romanians might be interested in, but also possibly come to sell
Mhm.
Toyota humanoid robots, who knows, and Lego robotics. And you might have great insight marketing wise in those regards in all 28 EU countries, and in particular in Romania. What do you think?
Yes, we can discuss some things. Yeah, yeah. One aspect is, you know, for instance, I think you've written to many people. I mean, you've been active using email and x.com, the new name.
Which, sorry?
X.com, the new name, you know, of
Oh,
Twitter
yeah,
is
yeah,
X.
yeah. Right. Bring back the bird.
uh,
Bring back the blue bird. Bring back the bird.
and LinkedIn, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know, maybe you've also used Meta software.
Yeah,
Um,
not so, I haven't so much. YouTube is that,
Okay.
and Zoom is good, and yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
the social media
Yeah, and
sites.
Google also, you've been using Google services, yeah. And given that you've communicated with many people, including publicly, we can discuss how we can organize group conversations among these people. Um, this has a beneficial influence, um, you know, over the organization that manages such conversation. You know, it
Great,
helps with the organization's image, and people tend to, um, you know, increase each other's interest in what the organization offers.
great.
Mm.
One further thought in the less than a minute time we have, in maybe relating to marketing, if you will, and which platforms and which people, is how to find the highest achieving students in Romania who might be,
Well,
you know,
mhm.
the folks who might even come to the US to go to MIT or Stanford or Harvard or Britain for Oxbridge. It's just we would like to become the Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Oxbridge of the internet in Romania. So
well,
yeah.
that would be great. Well,
Okay.
I see that the time is up. I thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll try to move the conversation forward.
Sounds good. So glad we could meet. And thank you for facilitating it, Julian. See you.
Okay.